Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be going over the all-new Subaru Crosstrek. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Nate Wade Subaru here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Crosstrek. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Crosstrek is a naturally aspirated 2-liter flat 4-cylinder paired to a CVT. Fuel economy is 27 around town and then 34 on the highway, with power outputs being 152 horsepower and then 145 pound-feet of torque. You can also get a more powerful 182 horsepower 2.5-liter flat 4-cylinder, but that is only available on the Sport, Wilderness, and Limited models. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see distinctive lines there on either side, and it's kind of flat there in the center. We've got the new style of headlights here, which I think look absolutely fantastic. And notice how it kind of trails into the grille trim here with the Subaru logo there in the center. We do have fog lights off to the side, and then look at this, just like the Outback, you've got this trim here, and then that continues at the bottom as well. And putting it all together, the new Crosstrek kind of has more of like an off-roady type appearance, again, just like the new Outback. Coming around the side here, tire wheel setup is 225/60/17 in the front and over in the rear as well. You guys can see here with the wheel design, you got the silver on the top with the metallic gray below that. And then look at the new fender flare design here with the Crosstrek. You got like little venting right there, just like the WRX. That is kind of interesting. And then that trim continues all along the side. And then notice the mirror caps are actually metallic gray. And of course got the roof rails. And then putting it all together, I really like the design of the new Crosstrek. I think it looks really sharp. Now here's our key fob. We've got our unlock function or lock function, the opening here for the hatch, or the unlock for the hatch rather, and Subaru's normal key fob. Now popping open the hatch itself, you guys can see that the Crosstrek, although being a small vehicle, is still pretty practical when it comes to storage here in the rear. And you've got the rubber covering here for the back as well. And then I like this, look, it's like a bunch of little mountains and everything. That's pretty neat. When you're all done, just pull that down and plop. Now I've got the new style of taillights here, which I think look very sharp. And then you can see all the rest of the badges. And then look at the trim here at the bottom. And putting it all together, I'm a big fan of the new Crosstrek styling. I think that this looks quite a bit better than the previous version. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the rear, you guys can see the padding here, and then look at the stitching that goes across, and then we've got storage down below, a cup holder as well actually. And then here are the seats. I like this design. I wish more automakers would do something like this with their cloth seats. It has a really cool appearance. Now legroom in the back is actually really solid. We've got some USB action, got a little storage pocket on the back of the seat, and actually it's like green. There's actually some green in it. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, we also have a cup holder armrest, and then last but not least, headroom's good back here. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the cloth trim and then the padding down below with all the stitching. All of our window controls, front two are actually automatic. You got your mirror adjustments, and they've got like the carbon fiber print in this area, and then you guys can see the mirrors themselves. Front seats are super similar to the back, again with the cloth insert there that's got like the green in it. Power adjustment for the driver, which is pretty cool. And then you guys can see down below pretty normal looking pedals, and then there's not a lot happening here, but we do have more of that like carbon fiber print. So here's a quick look at the steering wheel. We've got paddle shifters here in the back. We do have adaptive cruise control with steering assist. We've got a drive mode select on the steering wheel as well. And we got like our voice command controls, phone controls, volume controls, all of that. And then our stocks there on the back. So here's our gauge cluster in the center. I can scroll through a few different menus, see different bits of info on the vehicle. And then you do have your drive mode select. So you can switch from your I mode to your S mode with this. In reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and resolution on it's pretty solid. And you also have your X mode, which I think it's funny that you can turn on the X mode when you put it into reverse. But anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you can see it's a large display. We've got volume controls on either side, or sorry, radio controls rather, climate controls on either side, and then notice response time with this is really solid. It's frankly easy to use, and that's also where you can turn on the X mode is over here. So I'd say great infotainment system. That's why Subaru has it in all of their cars now. Got a little charging port area down below, and then you can see our shifter for that CVT. And we have heated seats here with the Crosstrek. Got a parking brake, got a 12 volt, and then I like these cup holders right here. Pretty cool. And then the center console, which has some like cable thread throughs, which is nice. Nice padding here on the top, and then more of that carbon fiber print, and then pretty normal glove box here. And then this one actually does come with the sunroof, which is nice. And then with the mirror, we do have a manual mirror dimmer. So taking a look at the window sticker here, you guys can see 2024 Crosstrek Premium. Pretty much everything we went over was actually standard equipment. And then you got a 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, 5-year, 60,000 mile on the powertrain. 26,145 is the base MSRP after option package 14. This one, and destination. This one stickers for 29,685. And let's see how the new Crosstrek performs. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear, and Crosstrek away. I'm excited to review this one, but then also, you know, a wilderness. That would be really cool. I'm a big fan of Subaru's new wildernessing the world, whatever you want to call it, because they just look so cool. There's it looks like an Outback Wilderness, for example. Yeah, just cool looking cars, but 24 Crosstrek. This is kind of more of a, well, at least this version, right? It's like an interior and exterior refresh because the powertrain is pretty much like a straight carryover. So, but I mean, that's kind of what Subaru has been doing with their vehicles. What I will say is, I definitely like how this performs so far. Really solid. See how it does over the train tracks. Oh yeah, still got Subaru's comfy suspension. Yeah, and it's just really smooth overall. So they've done a good job with all of that. And I like how it drives because it's, you know, the Crosstrek's not a huge vehicle, so it definitely drives smaller, but it's still, you know, is a little bit higher up off the ground. So it's kind of like in between, you know, it's a CUV, so it's kind of like in between a car and an SUV, which I think a lot of people like because you get better fuel economy and you get, you know, these kind of like fun little car driving dynamics, and you get all of that at the same time that you still get, you know, practicality in the back. I mean, the rear seats are really spacious actually, as you guys saw earlier in the video. And on the cargo area, again, it's pretty solid for what this is. Okay, well, let's get our acceleration here with the base powertrain with the Crosstrek. Transitions are smooth. Yeah, I mean it's not like fast or anything, right? Because it's the base output. If you want the fast one, you got to go for the 2.5. Oh, look at that Ford stuck there on the side of the road. Pretty typical. Fast only rolling downhill. Fix or repair daily. Found on road dead. There you go. Okay, but anyways, all Ford jokes aside, summing things up here with this Crosstrek. I really like how the new Crosstrek drives. I think the biggest thing is this is just kind of like a style change. Like the exterior looks a little bit different, and then the interior, right, they've upgraded it quite a bit, but it still drives, you know, pretty similar to that Crosstrek, right? So if you like how the Crosstrek drives, the new one, super similar. It looks better, and it has a much nicer interior. The infotainment system, I mean, that part of it, like, that's a huge upgrade. But let me know what you guys think about the new Crosstrek, and let me know what you guys think about that wilderness package. I'm excited to review one of those once they start popping in.